Hey guys, welcome back. So I just woke up. I wasn't able to sleep. Can you hear me now? I think, Brie. I think I had accidentally turned off my microphone. There we go. Okay. Is that too much sunlight? There we go. I think that's better. All right. So I meant to put on the scheduler at 8. I mean at 9, and not 8. There's no way I was gonna be able to do this at 8. I had some coffee or one of these ghost drinks, and I kept me up until like 11. My tolerance to caffeine is like nothing. So like I was literally like not able to go to sleep. I woke up at 2 in the morning. Ugh, I had to go to pee. It was awful. So, good morning. And in this, in this, I'm still not liking like the light in the back. It's just like too strong or something. There's something not bright. I don't know. There's something that is not like. Good morning. Cute. I still have like, so in Mexico when someone wakes up and they have this type of face, they call it face of give me a taco. Oh, that sounds yummy. So like this face, they call it cara de dame un taco. So it's like give me a taco face. It's weird. I guess this was working. Whatever. It's better. All right. So during the entire gangstering operation, there was something that it's something from here. So I live in a border town. Let me clean the lens too. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, so there is this thing here. It's a border town. Oh, I didn't know you were Mexican. That's I would have with a screen name such as Brie. I would have never expected your name to be a boy or you to be Hispanic. Brianda. Oh, that's cute. I never heard that. That's adorable. Okay, yeah. Now I can see where Brie comes from. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Brie. Welcome. Okay, guys. So during gang stalking, pretty much the moment where I found out that a lot of the noises were actually imagined. Like a lot of the voices. Look, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Look, actually, I wrote it down. I wrote it down because I felt like it was. How do you say? I felt like it was a programming, but the truth is that my mind was literally living the habits that I used to have. Like my mind was literally doing the things that I used to do, like for a long time. So for example, if I let's say if I heard like a sound in the back, I looked in the back, and then I figured where the sound came from, and then I didn't know my mind used to do this, but then my mind made a voice that of the made a voice that would belong to whoever was on that spot. So like I swear to God, I was like the shadow. I mean like it's something so insane to explain, but it's so real. It's so real. But you currently have like a representation of all your habits in you. And this representation of all your habits is alive. And it feels like it has a mind of its own. So like I swear to God, so like I was sitting down. It's almost like your spirit, like your past self is alive within you. That is the best way I can explain it. So like I was like at so I was coming here, right? So I stopped at a gas station. Not at a gas station, at a rest stop. And I sat down and I was just sitting down and I wanted to go to sleep. So there was absolutely nothing around. Nothing, zero. So then I heard a noise. And then where the noise came from, I swear to God, I felt like my spirit got up, and then my spirit was looking around, and then when it realized um where the sound came from, my mind hallucinated. Like it created a little shadow, like a hand a shadow. I swear to God, this is gonna be crazy as fuck, but this is the truth. And then my eyes went like this, like not mine, but like my well, a the shad the eyes of my shadow, like my spirit. And then after I went like this, a voice was produced right from where I thought that the sound came from. So listen, this is gonna be weird. So I asked the shadow, hey, what's happening? And this is what it told me. Look, if you're getting gang stalked, talk to the voices. If you hear voices, and they're gonna talk back to you with the truth. So this is crazy. This is the one thing that never failed me. So I asked the shadow. So the shadow was called Ayoskirin. They want me to. That's what the shadow was called. That's why it was doing the things that I asked it when I said they want me to lose everything. The shadow, me, my mind would make me lose everything. When I said they want me to be confused, or when I thought they want me to get confused, I would start feeling confused. And I would perceive everyone as trying to make me confused. So the shadow was named they want me to. So I asked the shadow, this is before I knew its name. I was asking it, what's happening? And it told me, so whenever I hear a noise, for the game to keep going, this is what it fucking told me, dude. It said, for the game to keep going, I have to look around, and when I find where the sun is coming from, I have to confirm that it's from there. If you don't turn around, I'm gonna make you turn around by creating a shadow. And this literally happened. Like I'm not kidding you. So I was like this. I heard a noise, and then I felt like a force was pulling me, like the shadow was pulling me to turn that way, but I refused. And then I saw like a little hand, and then I turned around, and when I turned around, I felt like the shadow was trying to look around from where the sun was coming from. And then the shadow was like it found where it came from, and then it created like a little hallucination of the spot where the sound came from. And then the shadow went like this, like confirm. And then as soon as it did that, then it produced a voice, like my own mind produced a voice coming from that location. So the reason that I know that this was my own behavior was that a long time ago, when I was into substance abuse, I would I would before turning on like the paraphernalia, uh what's it called? Um oh, what's that word? Give me 1 second. The click. To hide the click, I would literally cough and sneeze and go like that really loud to hide it. So so that no one would hear what I was doing. So I did that, and then the time I did it, I forgot that I used to do that because I had gone on a really long break. And then I asked the shadow, what was it that why do I always sneeze and go and cough whenever I'm like doing stuff in the restroom? And it told me the same thing, that the shadow was telling me, sneeze, 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 or cough, cough. You have to cough whatever you. That way you tell the gang stalkers that that you're using. So I was like, fuck. And then I remember the time that when I began doing that, and I began doing it to hide it from anyone knowing what I was doing. So then I was like, then this means that this was my own behavior. Of course, the shadow's gonna tell me whatever. Well, it's gonna tell me or the voice is gonna tell me anything that are gang stalking related, because I thought the voices were gang stalkers. So I imagined the voices as coming from gang stalkers. But for many years, that was my behavior. I would hear a noise, I would look around, and unknowingly I would create a voice coming from a direction. And so, like, if I thought someone was there, my mind would confirm the location of someone via a shadow of hallucination. So listen. So if you're like, even if you're sober, your mind can do these things to you. So like, I have been practicing on creating hallucinations like sober, and I have been able to. I can hallucinate when I'm sober. Of course, they're not as strong. They're not as potent as they used to. But that's because I'm changing the habits. But I am practicing on having my mind creating a hallucination. Why? I don't know. I feel like this type of information can actually come helpful. Like, let's say that, I don't know, that I am not sure where I left something, and I want to, like, I want to tell my mind, like, to tell me where I left it. And let's say that, like, if I see it and I don't notice it, then, like, my mind would just be like, it's there, and it would create like a hand, pointing to it. That's one thing that I can imagine using it, that I think would be helpful, and it would be really sick. But that's the thing, is that you have to. The only reason that the mind will lie to you and create a hallucination, a shadow, is because you believe that there is something there. But I know that there is a type of hack where the mind can be done for it to, there's something that I can tell my mind to hallucinate even where I don't think that there is someone there. So it just has to be. There has to be. There's no way that psychological skill or mental skill is not available to us. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. So that is the current technique that I'm working right now. Actually, I'm working on a lot of psychological techniques. So, like, right now, I am working primarily. Primarily, I am working right now on the creating willpower out of nothing. So this sounds weird, but if you have followed me since the Gang Stalking Playbook, just know that before, I used to be, well, I used to have substance abuse problems, and these substance abuse problems, well, they led me astray, but they led me to experience a lot of things for a really long time, that from my mind, like, my mind was able to do things that I had no idea I could do. So I'm exploring my mind in such a way now that I don't engage in substance abuse, because, well, first of all, I quit everything. I don't know if so. I used to have problems with substance abuse. I believe that I was addicted to sex because I was always looking for it, and I stopped in an instant. Just like that. Boop, nothing. I haven't had any type of cravings, any type of desire to re-engage in any of that. Nothing, nothing. I stopped speaking to absolutely everyone. Like, I am doing everything there is to do to stop. Like, if nothing ever happened. Like, if I've never had a single problem of substance abuse. Nothing. Zero. None. Zero. You guys saw that I used to live in my car. You know, it's like I quit all of that. Boom. In one instant. In one day, I changed everything. Just like that. By creating willpower out of nothing. So the that I'm giving you, or the information that I'm giving you on how to create willpower out of nothing, is true. It is one of the truest things I have ever tried in my entire life. It is the truest things I was able to make myself, like, if with I was able to make myself literally quit absolutely everything cold turkey. No willpower necessary. The first couple of days, I mean, I cannot lie to you. The first couple of days, it was part of the training. So that's what I said. I have to do something. If this is true, if my theories are correct about gang stalking, I have to be able to quit everything at once without struggling. So I was training myself to create willpower with the snapping of my fingers. Where, let's say that I wanted to make a choice, of like go and engage in something that I know I shouldn't. I would snap my fingers when I decide not to. And so what I did is that the snapping of the fingers is the cue to always make the right choice. And this is gonna be weird, but I tied in the right choice to breathing. So that's gonna sound weird. It might not make sense to you, but what you do is that whenever I did this for a week. So whenever I took in my breath, I snap my fingers. So it is giving the equivalent of the right choice to the breathing. So this is crazy, but this is what gang stalking taught me. And when I breathe, I tied in me to making the right choice of doing what I have to do, working, studying, everything, to breathing. So for the rest of my life, I will not have any trouble not engaging in anything that I don't want to do. It's crazy as that might sound, as insane as that might sound, it is the truth. It's the truth. And it's incredibly powerful and it's incredibly potent, and it is the most surreal experience I have ever experienced. Look, I honestly felt like if I was a dog, because whenever I wanted to scratch an itch, I did. No, don't scratch your itch, because I'm exerting willpower. So I had to exert as much willpower from every single way, shape, and form for me to make the choice that I wanted to make. That my deepest desire was to work, be successful, and completely dedicated to my job. And you guys are seeing the results. So all of this that is happening, all the videos, all the changes, everything, is because of that. It's because of the philosophy that I'm telling you guys about, like, the mind's eye. That works. All that stuff works. It just fucking does. So that's why gang stalking works. Gang stalking works because it's a imposition of reality on your mind, and because my mind kept believing it was real, my mind kept recreating it. So don't think that I'm saying that gang stalking is not real. Gang stalking is real, but it is something that is almost like self-enforcing. So if there was a point where there were no gang stalkers around, but I was used to having the same thought of gang stalking. I was used to looking around for noises. There were times where I was expecting to hear voices, so my mind created the voices. And well, I thought, there was a voice in my head, there was a gang stalker. So guess what? When I spoke to myself, It was like a muscle that I didn't know the mind had. I spoke to myself as if someone was talking to me. And it was weird because I can still do it, but it's literally just me, just like talking to myself if it was someone else. But if you practice that a lot, and if you hear, like, if you imagine someone's talking to you and you see that person standing over there, like far from you, and if you imagine the person talking to you and you look at their mouth and you imagine what they're saying, and even though you just even when give me one second. If there was someone far from you and this person is not saying anything, right? And if I am here and I begin imagining that this person is telling me something, and if I imagine this person telling me something, so, and if I keep creating the conversation of what this person is telling me, and I start thinking of what the person is saying, my mind will create the mind of the person moving. My mind will will create the movement of the mouth. So that is how intense that is. Sorry, I just went on like on a barrage. I went out of control. Ooh, that was weird. Was that weird? Oh my god. Anyways, um, I just went in the zone of talking about this. That was so crazy. I like just snapped out of it. That was weird. Anyways, um, let's see. Well, that is exactly what happens. Is that if you are imagining that there is someone and this someone is, I completely forgot what I was talking about. I'm so sorry. I just went on a rampage of speaking to you. Well, that was weird. I hope I didn't look like a freak. Let me try on the fan. It was that weird because I just was in the zone and I just went on talking about that, and it was, well. Anyways, so let me tell you. Um, the zone, imagining. Oh, so the crux of that, of what I was talking to you, is that my mind was recreating my past habits. And the reason that gang stalking was still going on was because my mind was still recreating the voices. Like, my mind thought that there was someone outside, and it confirmed itself to itself that there was someone by creating a shadow, a hallucination. And once it confirmed it, it gave itself permission to create a voice of someone that was of saying whatever. So it was a self realizing loop of my mind where if I heard a noise, I'll be like, oh, there's someone there. And I looked around and I didn't see anything. My mind had to literally create a confirmation to itself, such as a shadow, to confirm to itself that there was someone there. And when it did, it created a voice. The thing was that, this would happen when I was asleep. Like, it is just until like recent where I was able to like sleep. Because like I feel like just now I'm just now starting to look rested. But that is because for the last couple of for like a month, my mind was not resting. It was awake. And it was thinking about gang stalking on its own. So I know that sounds really weird. But my mind was restless. It was literally restless. And there would be times where I would like wake up, where I would be half awake, and I would be hearing someone talking, like outside of the car. But it was no one. It was simply my mind just making shit up, dude. And YOH, it is no government. I am so sorry. It is your mind working. So listen, I'm out of the gang stalking already. I'm out. My mind is back to normal. To the most back to normal it can be at this time. However, I know I still have to like stay indoors, to be honest with you, for like, I don't know, another month or so, maybe more. And that is because my mind, well, it's not, doesn't have a tendency still to create voices, but it was creating voices. But that was because where I lived, I that would hear everything. I would hear everything. Oh my god, my skin is so fucking dry. Oh my god, my legs. I never had my legs so dry. Oh, it's because it's the winter. Well, Mr. YOH, I am so sorry, but listen, you're gonna deeper into the gang stalking narrative if you believe that. No, 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 no. Watch my videos, and you're gonna be able to get out of it because I already figured this shit out. Um, it is your mind working against you. You don't know it yet, but whenever you think that there is someone, so that means that you're hearing voices. So listen. Notice that whenever you think of who they are, you think the gang stalkers, right? If you're there, that has to be right. There's no other way that you believe they are. So what you have to do is that you have to stop thinking of they as gang stalkers. You have to think as they as who the people. You have to change the people that you think they are. Because if you think that they are your enemies, as in who they are, it's gonna get only worse and it's gonna get more real. You're gonna see you're gonna see you're gonna see all that. And that shit's awful. It's awful. But it's actually all psychological conditioning. It is. It's all conditioning of your mind. It is all your mind, dude. And the way that you stop is that you rethink of who they are. So you have to think, who are they? They have to be like people that you love, people that you know are not gang stalkers. So when you think of they in your mind, you have to know that it is that they are. When you think they, you should not be referring to gang stalkers. You should be referring to your friends and your family. If you keep saying they, you are literally telling your mind to fuck you over. So when you think they want me to lose everything, or they want me to lose my house or whatever, your mind is gonna work to make you lose your house. So listen, ask the voices who they are. Ask the voices who is your subconscious mind, and ask him who are the gang stalkers, and ask the voice who are the who ask your voice that question, who is my subconscious mind, who is my mind. Ask it right now, and it's gonna tell you it's the gang stalkers. So you can have the thought that whenever you say mind, you think gang stalkers, but say it out loud and pay attention to the voice. So when the voice talks, ask the voice, who is my mind? Or who is the gang stalker? Who are the voices in my head? And ask them, who is my subconscious mind? Who is my mind? And the voice is gonna tell you. If you hear voices, you can do that. When you ask that, it's gonna tell you your mind is the gang stalkers. So ask it right now and tell me. Ask it. Who is my mind? Let me write this out here. So if you hear voices, if you are in that phase, ask the voices. Ask the voice, who is my subconscious mind? Who is my mind? And it will tell you, oh, it's the gang stalkers. So that should help you make connections. It should help you make a connection. Oh, God, I'm getting tired. I think I'm hungry. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna make myself a little bowl to eat real quick. It's gonna be like 5 minutes or less. Give me 1 second. So you can also ask your mind, who is they want me to. And your mind is gonna tell you, oh, they want me to. That's the name of your mind. When I said that, when I said, is your name they want me to? My mind literally began laughing at me. And it was like, why did you figure it out? Well, now you're gonna suffer. It was insane. It was fucking crazy. But that's the truth. Is that your mind is turned against you, literally. So my mom made lentils with rice and beans. It's so good. Oh. So, anyways, your mind, or my mind in this case, literally became, or literally was my mind was literally a conglomeration of all my gang stalking thoughts. That's all it was. Like that's all my mind was. So those were the only thoughts that were in my mind, and I have to literally involve myself in my mind into something else in order for that to change. Because like it's almost like if you think about thinking about gang stalking will make you think more about gang stalking, and if you're thinking about gang stalking when you look at a car, you're gonna be like, oh, that car, whoever's driving that car is a gang stalker. That way, it's gonna get deeper into it. But anyways, the truth is that a lot of these hacks of the mind that I'm telling you guys is because of gang stalking. And listen, it worked. It worked to get me into gang stalking, and the only way that I was able to get out of it was by applying these tactics that were taught to me by it. And it fucking worked. It just fucking worked. So, if you're getting gang stalked or whomever you are, if you have no idea what gang stalking is, just know that I was a lost soul. And I guess there were enough people that didn't like me that were imposing on me a lot of these vices, And whenever I tried to like stop, these people came around and pushed me into them. And there was no way out. There just wasn't. Like the only way that I could stop that is by taking myself away from everyone and everything. And that's incredibly hard to do when you have a job. And when pretty much the only people that are trying to intersect your communication is people who want you to see you like engage in these habits. Like I would just log online and that would be the only thing that these people would tell. They would ask me, "Hey, do you do this? Do you do that? Do you engage in this illicit substance?" And there was just no way out. There was the only thing that I would be asked online. And when that happens to you, when every person just seems to intersect you with a inclination of trying to have you dig yourself deeper into drugs, that's pretty hard to get out of. So I thought, well, if I know these tactics, these psychological techniques, I'm gonna apply them to quit everything cold turkey. And I did. And it worked. So that is when I decided, if these tactics work, I am gonna dedicate my life to help other people to see and know these tactics. And, the implementation of these psychological hacks is a little time consuming. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a while where it's like it can be annoying. You feel like a dog where it's like, okay, if every time I have to use willpower, I'm gonna snap my finger. So then I'm like, okay, when I have an itch, okay, I'm not gonna scratch the itch and I have to use willpower to not scratch the itch. So, it gets really interesting. You almost feel like an experiment dog. But these techniques work. They just do. And whenever you apply them, you literally have control over your life 100%. There is no temptation that will get to you. There just isn't. And that's the thing, is that you start seeing it in action. And that's just how it is. Well, I'm exhausted, and I have to write more videos. Even though I just woke up, but I have to write more videos. I have to study my Swift programming. I I did this purchase online, and I totally forgot to quit the trial, and I ended up paying $100 for the Mimo app. But it's a good app. It's a good app. Like, I'm actually learning how to code, which is pretty good. The 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 idea of that, the concept behind that, is that all these techniques, I'm actually planning to make an app of these techniques where the app helps you program your mind to make these cues reality. And and that's the idea, is to have the mind's eye become a program, a piece of software, and a book, or a what's it called? Well, I'll tell you guys later. But that's it. Is that the rest, everything is gonna revolve around the mind's eye. And for the last 10 minutes, I'm gonna really tell you exactly what is this about. Is that, believe it or not, you live in a continuous. There is a continuous representation of all your habits in your body, and these are imagined. How do you say, imagined or not experiences? They are inside of you. So, like, if let's say that you have a habit of scratching, of biting your nails, right? Look, this is the best example that I can give you. If you have a habit of biting your nails, right, and you haven't done it, and you're just like sitting down, and you almost feel like anxiety of not biting your nails. Imagine yourself, why is it possible that I could be feeling the anxiety on my nails? It is not because of the habit, but it's because your mind is literally doing this. Your imagination is reliving your past habits. That is something that I have to really elaborate on, But let's say that if I'm biting my nails, right, and I'm just go like this. Let's assume that. And you're sitting down, not biting your nails, and all of a sudden you have the craving to biting your nails. The one thing that you should do is that you go into your body, right? And then try to feel what is your mouth doing. Like, just feel your mouth. And you're gonna feel it's and then feel your hand. And you're gonna feel like almost your spirit is biting its nails. And you're feeling the anxiety on your nails because your spirit is biting your nails. Your spirit is biting its own nails. And you're gonna actually be able to see it. So this is the craziest thing. And that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. Is that I'm gonna have to go further into the talk of the spirit. Where the spirit is the equivalent of the mind or the shadow. Spirit, mind, shadow is the same thing. All right. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me this morning, and I will talk to you guys later.